Welcome back to another UEFA Champions League review with myself and Christopher Hammer. We'll be looking at the two semi-finals over the past couple of days. Christopher, where are we starting?
We are starting in the Principality, Joseph, where the old lady smashed Monaco about with her cane last night. Juve, let me read you some stats from this page you've so helpfully prepared for me, Joseph.
No worries.
They've never lost a UEFA Champions League knockout tie to French opposition in their history. For starters, so history was against Monaco from the offset, Joseph. Are Juve the complete team? In that 4-2-3-1. Excellent. I've got to say, Mikizio, outstanding last night. Dybala, maybe the best defensive forward in the world.
Agreed.
Kid was everywhere, switching play, putting last-ditch tackles. Big fan of his work rate. But anyway, before this game, Monaco had scored 85 goals in 28 home games.
Ridiculous.
85 goals. For you math fans out there, work out how many goals that is per game. Let us know in the comments below. But yeah, Juve, conversely, have gone 10 hours and 21 minutes since they last conceded in the Champions League.
Solid.
So this was very much an irresistible force meeting an unmovable object.
Yes.
And by God, did the Italian team come out on top. They showed no signs of letting up, did they? Barring that little save from Buffon at the start from Mbappe, and maybe a good save from Germain at the end. But yes, Juve still only conceded 2 goals in this season's Champions League. It is absolutely frivolous. They've now kept 3 clean sheets in matches against Barcelona and Monaco, who between them have scored 302 competitive goals this season. My oh my, I'm out of breath. Joseph, tell me where it went wrong for Monaco.
Well, where didn't it go wrong? Firstly, it was men against boys out on the pitch. Monaco had their chances, but it's all gone wrong for Leo Jardim. From treble to just the league in under 2 weeks. Some might say it was the wrong decision to rest 11 players against PSG in the Cup, Leo. In my opinion, there's too much reliance on Kylian Mbappe. The kid is just 18. He had some magnificent chances last night. Didn't quite finish and went a bit cold in the second half as well. But what a talent. But you can't rely on him that heavily. Falcao has to do more up front for me. Bakayoko looked in trouble with his face mask, constantly throughout the game, tugging at it. Just leave it alone, Bakayoko. Leave it alone. In fact, that was the first time that Monaco have failed to score at home in all competitions since 2015.
Wow.
So that just shows both how good Juventus were and how off the pace Monaco were. But at the opposite end of the pitch to Mbappe, you had Gonzalo Higuain, who started horrendously in this game. Yes. He was so bad for the first 15 minutes, but then did what he always does and finds the back of the net.
As you say, he missed 3 chances in the opening 20, but he found his 30th goal of the season to open his account last night. But yeah, he scored with one of the goals of the season, quite frankly, Joseph. That team move from defense, that transition from defence to attack was absolutely outstanding. 2 back heels in there, so Lady Luck played a big part in it. But my oh my, Dani Alves, what a guy. You're going to talk about him in a second. I'm going to carry on with Gonzalo Higuain. This is his first ever UCL goal in a knockout goal, away from home. Ever. The guy doesn't excel in the knockout stages. I remember the commentator saying last night, prior to this game, he'd only scored 3 in 25 games.
Gonzo.
In comparison to Ronaldo, who scored 52.
Jesus.
But, you know, cream always floats to the top, Joseph. Higuain, he's now scored 2 goals in a UCL game for only the 2nd time in his 63rd appearance in the competition. And as I alluded to earlier, he doubled his number of total goals in the previous 24 knockout ties in one night. So after the first 20 minutes, he really settled into the game. Like Dybala, defended well, put in a good shift. He works the channels quite well, surprisingly, as well, doesn't he?
He's so slow.
Yes, I've seen Milk turn quicker than Gonzalo Higuain, but he's there when it matters. Lovely steered finish. And what was the second one?
The second one was ball over the top. Beautiful from Dani Alves. No, it was foot, wasn't it? It was foot.
Oh, yeah.
Slid it under.
Stooping foot.
Yeah.
But yeah, you tell me about Dani Alves.
What can you say about a man like Dani Alves? Potentially, I'm going to put my neck on the line here, the greatest right back of all time. Potentially alongside, maybe you think of Cafu, Philip Lahm, also another shout in there. But what a player.
In there.
He's ridiculous. I think the most decorated Brazilian of all time. Now, he is guaranteed another league title here. Probably going to win another Champions League if they can dispatch Real Madrid in the final. And what a night he had as well. 3 chances created, 2 assists, 2 tackles, 2 dribbles, 6 clearances, 1 interception, 75% of his tackles that he won, and 100% of his dribbles he completed. What the f*** Barcelona thinking when they let this man go for a free last summer? Absolutely
Alexi Vidal,
madness.
mate. Alexi Vidal.
I know, but Dani Alves, a supremely talented player, ran the whole right side all day for Juventus by himself last night. I've almost run out of words to describe how good this lad is. Honestly, he is
superlative.
Ridiculous. Ted Newson put out a radar of his last night and it's vile. It looks like a dartboard. It's so good. My God. I don't know what else to say, to be honest. I mean, for me, it's tie over. I think Juventus are guaranteed to win this now.
Well, Juve are unbeaten in the last 49 games at home.
Yeah.
So I'd be inclined to agree with you, Joseph. And they haven't conceded 3 goals at home since November 2011.
Jesus.
Which makes for ugly, ugly reading for Leonardo Jardim's men. Juve, now, we had a little discussion beforehand. Do you think they're vulnerable from crosses?
Yes.
I thought, yeah, I mean, I agree to an extent, but I thought Monaco were much better when João Moutinho came on. A little bit more elusive, a little bit more tight in possession than Bakayoko. I think that Juve relished the physical battle. Marchisio, Chiellini, Bonucci, they dealt with Bakayoko all day. So going forward, I think Isco might take a little bit of positivity from seeing how Moutinho got in and amongst the half spaces, shall we say.
Yeah, I agree. I think if there's one team that is the kryptonite to Juventus' Superman, it's Real Madrid. Exceptionally good at crosses. Marcelo down one wing, Carvajal down the other. We saw how that took Atletico Madrid apart on Wednesday night, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. And also, like you said, that midfield area is so elusive for Real. Kroos, Modric, Isco all love to play in the half spaces. I'm not sure whether a 2-man midfield Juventus can deal with those 3 players. It will be so interesting to see in the final. If they get there, still a little bit time to go, but for me, it's going to be Juventus-Real final.
Our second and last game, Josephine, is obviously Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu. San Diego. German, anyway. How did it pan out?
Yeah, well, this was a very one-sided affair. Atletico Madrid were horrendous, which I think you're going to talk about later, but Real Madrid were very, very good. Their midfield in particular was exceptional. That midfield 3, or midfield 4 with Isco as well, Casemiro, Modric, Kroos, and Isco were scintillating. In fact, when Real play with Casemiro against Atleti, they never lose, and they never have lost.
The bull.
1-2, drawn 3 with him in midfield. He really does crucify them, strangulates the Atletico midfield very, very well. Real Madrid have now scored in the last 36 UEFA Champions League games at home. That is ridiculous. And
Colosseum.
this season, they've scored 2 or more goals in every single Champions League game. Is there anyone that can stop them? Maybe Juventus can. Like I said earlier, Isco as well proved really, really elusive in this game. 100% pass accuracy in that first half. He was finding so many half spaces. Atleti really didn't know what to do. It was helped by the fact that Gavi was rubbish. But there's only one man everybody's talking about, isn't there? CR7, he pops up again. Another hat-trick and reaches 400 goals for Real Madrid. Absolutely stinky. His 42nd hat-trick and 35th goal this season. And he loves to do it in the knockout stages. Of his 103 Champions League goals, over half have come in the knockout stages.
Man for the big occasion.
Doesn't mess around, does he? He doesn't mess around. And the other man who was exceptional, Toni Kroos, 124 touches on the ball, 96% pass accuracy from 104 passes. That's 19 more than his closest contender. Atleti couldn't get within sniffing distance of the big German, could they? And they were rubbish.
He's like Iniesta. When Kroos gets the ball, time just slows down, doesn't it?
Incredible.
But as you alluded to, not the best game from Simeone's men.
Yeah.
Came with a clear game plan. With that deep block, looking to launch Griezmann on the counter, but I don't think they executed it very well, to say the least. They attempted 15 crosses last night, Joseph, completing none of them. I think one of the few players who came out of that game with any redeemable sort of features was probably the left back, Felipe Luis. He was whipping in crosses that entire first half, but none of them reached their men. Anyway. Griezmann, he didn't have a touch in Real Madrid's box either. He didn't create a chance or have a shot on target.
That's poor.
In fact, the first shot on target they had was from Diego Godin in the 90th minute.
And it was from about 25 yards out. It wasn't a tap.
Diego Godin, who gets a nosebleed when he crosses the halfway line. But anyway, Gabi, as you alluded to, he didn't complete a single tackle on the night. absolute passenger, completely passive. I'm wondering if the end of the Simeone era also signals the end of his dominance in midfield for that Atleti team. I mean, he's getting on now. Is it, what, 34, 35?
Agreed.
I'm not sure. Didn't do my research. Not thorough enough. Anyway, Fernando Torres, when he came on, I thought, come on, the boy,
55th minute.
One last lease of life. Get out of Nando, but he completed 3 passes in 33 minutes.
So bad. Nando, you're better than that.
But anyway, yeah, Real Madrid with the first team as well. Check this out for a stat. Probably my favourite stat of the night. Real Madrid were the first team, to score 3 goals against Diego Simeone's side inside the first 90 minutes in his whole tenure.
In that Champions League, I think that is.
I think it's his whole tenure.
Jesus Christ. If it's
I'm going to put my neck out and say...
I think it's his Champions League.
Well, could be.
We'll find out.
I feel like I want to retract that statement now, but we'll go for it. We'll go for it. But yeah, will Real Madrid be the first ever team, Joseph, to retain the Champions League? You let us know in the comments below.
So that's all we've got time for today. Boo-hoo. Chris, what should everybody do next?
Well, Joseph, they should just check out great content from across FD and EFD. Stat Wars, top 10s. The top 10 from last night banged.
It did.
What was it?
It was 10 players that's careers are in shocking decline.
Shocked. You lot love a bit of negativity.
We do.
Get on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Bosh.
Sayonara. Bye.